If you think you know everything about South America, think again. This continent hides some of the most jaw-dropping geographic secrets on Earth. We're talking about deserts drier than Mars, rivers that literally flow through the sky, and get this, a hidden river flowing beneath the Amazon itself, mirroring its path in total darkness. Get ready to have your mind blown as we reveal 25 astonishing facts about South America that'll completely change the way you see this incredible land. Part 25. A river in Peru boils people alive. What if there was a river so hot it could boil a person alive, yet no volcano stood nearby? Hidden deep in the Peruvian Amazon lies Shanai Timpishka, the legendary boiling river. For generations, locals spoke of a sacred place where animals that fell in were cooked instantly, bones and all. Scientists dismissed it as folklore until 2011, when geoscientist Andres Russo traced the stories to their source and found the river was real. And even more shocking, its waters reach 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 93 degrees Celsius, despite being hundreds of miles from the nearest volcanic system. And the secret lies underground. Geothermal heat, not lava, rises through fault lines and superheats the water, turning the river into a natural death trap. Part 24. Underneath the Amazon River. Beneath the world's largest rainforest, a hidden giant flows in complete darkness. Meet Rio Hamza, an underground river discovered 4 kilometers beneath the Amazon basin. Stretching over 6,000 kilometers, nearly as long as the Amazon River itself, this subterranean marvel wasn't uncovered by adventurers, but by geophysicists studying old oil well data in 2011. Unlike its roaring surface sibling, Rio Hamza moves slowly, oozing like syrup through porous rock layers. And it's not your typical river either. You won't see rapids or fish, but its scale and stealth are mind-blowing. Running silently through the Earth's crust, it plays a mysterious role in underground hydrology, possibly feeding aquifers and affecting ecosystems we barely understand. Named after scientist Valia Hamza, who led the research, this underground river adds a whole new layer, literally, to our understanding of the Amazon. And just when we thought the rainforest had no more secrets, let's just look a little deeper. Part 23. Bolivia has 2 capital cities and a legal battle to prove it. Most countries have 1 capital. Bolivia has got 2. And it's not just a fun fact, it's a century-old identity crisis. On one side, there's La Paz, perched high in the Andes. It's the seat of government, where the president lives and Congress meets. Ask any politician and they'll say this is where power lives. And then there's Sucre, the elegant colonial-era city that holds the Supreme Court and wears the title of constitutional capital. Official documents still name it first. So which one is the real capital? Well, that depends on who you ask and where they're from. Today, the tension lingers in street protests, school textbooks, and national pride. Bolivia isn't just split by geography. It's split by history, law, and emotion. And the battle for its capital is far from settled. Part 22. Uruguay, the country where cows rule. In Uruguay, cows outnumber people 4-1, and no one's complaining. This tiny South American nation has just over 3 million people and more than 12 million cattle. Beef isn't just a food group here, it's a way of life. Walk through Montevideo and the smell of sizzling asado fills the air like perfume. Backyard grills are sacred, and Sunday barbecues, well, they're practically a religion. Uruguay's cows roam freely on lush, pesticide-free pastures, which is why the country produces some of the best grass-fed beef on the planet. But here's the kicker. While Brazil and Argentina hogged the spotlight, Uruguay quietly became a global beef powerhouse, exporting to Europe, China, and the US. With traceability systems so precise that you can track your steak back to the exact cow it came from. So while it may not flaunt it, Uruguay is a beef empire in disguise, where the real rulers walk on 4 legs and moo with authority. Part 21. Where the world splits in 2, mitad del mundo. In South America, there's a place where the world quite literally splits in 2, mitad del mundo, just outside Quito, Ecuador. Here you can stand with 1 foot in the northern hemisphere and the other in the southern hemisphere, because this city sits smack on the equator. Yeah, you heard it right. Or so they thought. Built in honor of an 18th century French expedition that declared this the Earth's midpoint, Mitad del Mundo celebrates the thrill of discovery, even if GPS later revealed the real equator is a few hundred meters away. Well, no matter. The charm is still real. A towering 30-meter monument topped with a globe marks the spot, drawing thousands to perform quirky equator tricks, balancing eggs on nails, watching water spiral in opposite directions, and snapping the iconic straddling the planet photo. But beneath the fun lies a deep respect for science, indigenous knowledge, and Ecuador's surreal role as the crossroads of the Earth. It's geography with a twist, and a selfie you will not forget. What do you think about that? Part 20. Mount Aconcagua. Most people don't think of South America when they picture towering mountains, but nestled deep in the Andes is a beast that breaks records, Mount Aconcagua. At a jaw-dropping 6,961 meters, which is 22,838 feet, it's not just the highest peak in South America, it's the tallest mountain outside of Asia. Can you believe it? It even towers above any point in North America or Europe. Located in Argentina near the Chilean border, Aconcagua lures thousands of climbers each year who want to test themselves against the Stone Sentinel. It's actually one of the few mountains this tall that doesn't require technical climbing gear. You could actually walk to the summit if you can handle the thin air and freezing winds. I mean, that's wild. A mountain that massive, and yet it's often left out of the conversation when we talk about Earth's greatest peaks. But for adventurers in the know, Aconcagua is the ultimate high-altitude proving ground. Part 19. The silent collapse beneath Buenos Aires. We've all heard about Jakarta sinking into the sea, but did you know Buenos Aires is quietly following suit? Argentina's capital, famous for its tango, steak, and European charm, is now battling a slow, invisible enemy. The ground beneath the city is collapsing. This phenomenon, called land subsidence, is mostly due to the city's excessive extraction of groundwater to support its booming population and industry. Over the decades, the relentless pumping has caused underground layers to compact, sinking parts of the city centimeter by centimeter. And add on layers of concrete, soaring construction, and poor drainage, and you've got the perfect recipe for flooding, even on a sunny day. And what's worse, much of it's happening unnoticed. No dramatic cracks, no tipping towers, just a city very slowly swallowing itself. And if left unchecked, rising seas and further sinking could drown coastal neighborhoods by the end of the century. Buenos Aires may be dancing toward danger step by silent step. Part 18. Mount Kodapaxi. If Earth had a chimney, it might just be Mount Kodapaxi. Rising dramatically from the heart of Ecuador, Kodapaxi is one of the highest active volcanoes in the world. And yes, it's still very much active. Sitting proudly in South America's volcanic belt, this icy giant towers at 5,897 meters or 19,347 feet, with a perfect snow-capped cone that looks like it was sculpted by the gods. Beneath that serene white cap bubbles a fiery core that's erupted more than 50 times since the 1700s. That's crazy. Cotopaxi isn't just beautiful, it's unpredictable. And despite the risk, hikers and thrill seekers still climb it, drawn by the chance to stand on the rim of a restless giant. It's part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic drama plays out daily. So yeah, Cotopaxi may look like a postcard, but it's also a ticking time bomb, hiding explosive power beneath a shadowy smile. Part 17. The Angel's Fall. Imagine water falling from so high up it turns into mist before it even hits the ground. That's Angel Falls for you, the tallest waterfall on the entire planet. Hidden deep within Venezuela's Canaima National Park, it plunges from a mind-blowing height of 979 meters. That's nearly 15 times the height of Niagara Falls. Can you believe it? What's even wilder is its location. Perched on the edge of the mysterious Guyana Plateau, a land of flat-top mountains, lost worlds, and rain-soaked jungle. Angel Falls doesn't just drop from a cliff, it practically tumbles from the sky itself. Named after Jimmy Angel, the American pilot who crash-landed nearby in the 1930s, this waterfall feels like nature showing off. There's no road that takes you there. You have to fly or boat in. It sounds like an adventure just getting there. And if magic had a location, it'd be right here. where clouds kiss cliffs and the earth pours its heart out. Part 16. The Producer of Nitrate. Did you know the driest place on Earth is also packed with one of the most valuable resources ever? Welcome to Chile's Atacama Desert, where it hardly ever rains, but the ground is bursting with riches. Chile is the world's largest producer of natural nitrate, also known as saltpeter, and it's been that way for centuries. Back in the 19th and early 20th centuries, nitrate was as valuable as gold. Why? Because it was the key ingredient in fertilizers and explosives. Countries literally went to war over it. Remember the War of the Pacific? Yep, all for that salty white powder. Even today, nitrate mining still plays a huge role in Chile's economy, especially as global agriculture leans on fertilizer to feed billions. And where does a lot of it come from? The crust of this silent, sun-baked desert. It's crazy, right? From barren nothingness comes something the whole world needs. That's Chile for you, quietly powerful and full of surprises. Part 15. Land of Fire. At the very bottom of the world, where the land breaks into scattered islands and the wind never stops howling, lies a place with a name as wild as it sounds: Tierra del Fuego, or Land of Fire. This rugged island sits at the southern tip of South America, split between Chile and Argentina, and it's every bit as dramatic as a pirate movie setting. Now, here's the real kicker. At its southernmost edge is Cape Horn, a name that once sent shivers down the spines of sailors. Before the Panama Canal existed, ships had to brave this deadly cape to pass between the Atlantic and Pacific. Storms, icebergs, shipwrecks, all part of the journey. And guess what? Even today, Cape Horn is considered one of the most treacherous nautical routes on Earth. That's wild. A cold, windswept tip of an island that once ruled the fate of world trade. That's Tierra del Fuego. Mysterious, mighty, and unforgettable. Part 14. The copper capital of the world. Hidden in the dusty heart of northern Chile's Atacama Desert lies a place so rich in treasure, it's been called the copper capital of the world. Welcome to Chuquicamata, a plateau that's not just famous, it's downright legendary. And this isn't just some tiny mining village. Chuquicamata holds one of the largest open-pit copper mines on the planet, and it's been churning out metal for over a century. The hole in the earth here is so massive, it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, over 4 kilometers wide and nearly a kilometer deep. But it's not about size. The copper pulled from Chuquicamata powers everything from your phone to electric cars to global tech networks. Isn't that crazy? A plateau in one of the driest places on Earth is fueling the future. So next time you plug in your device, remember, there's a good chance a piece of Chuquicamata is helping it run. That's the magic of copper from the desert. Part 13. The Last Wild Riders of Patagonia. In the windswept wilds of Patagonia, where the land feels ancient and untamed, herds of wild horses known as baguales still roam free. These majestic creatures, with their thick manes and fierce independence, are descendants of Andalusian horses brought by European explorers in the 1500s. For over a century, they've lived without direct human contact, adapting to Patagonia's brutal winters, rugged mountains, and ever-present predators like mountain lions. Isolated in places like the Darwin Mountains and Cape Horn, the baguales have become symbols of resilience and raw beauty. But their survival is fragile. Only a few hundred remain, including about 100 in Torres del Paine National Park. In 2014, a nonprofit stepped in to protect them, recognizing that these horses aren't just animals, they're living echoes of history, galloping across a landscape where wildness still rules. To see them is to witness nature's poetry in motion, untamed and unforgettable. Part 12. Andes Mountain Range. Did you know South America is home to the Andes Mountain Range, the world's second highest mountain range right after the Himalayas? Sounds pretty impressive, right? Stretching over 7,000 kilometers along the continent's western edge, the Andes are like nature's giant spine holding everything together. These mountains are what geologists call fold mountains, created when massive tectonic plates collided and folded the Earth's crust like a giant rocky accordion. Can you believe that this natural process started millions of years ago and continues to shape the land today? The Andes aren't just about towering peaks. They're packed with active volcanoes, glaciers, and breathtaking valleys. They influence the weather, the culture, and even the wildlife across South America. So next time you hear about the Himalayas, remember the Andes are right there, giving the world another spectacular mountain playground. Part 11. Easter Island. Have you ever heard of Easter Island? It's this tiny, isolated Polynesian island sitting way out in the Pacific Ocean. But guess what? It belongs to South America. That's wild, right? What makes Easter Island truly famous are its giant stone statues called moai, massive heads and bodies carved by the ancient Rapa Nui people. And these statues are shrouded in mystery. How did they move these huge stones? And why were they even built? No one really knows for sure, but theories about lost civilizations, ancient rituals, and even environmental collapse keep the island fascinating for explorers and scientists alike. I mean, Easter Island feels like a time capsule, a place where history, culture, and mystery collide on a tiny speck of land. It's a reminder that South America isn't just about rainforest and mountains. It also holds secrets carved in stone across the vast ocean. It's pretty amazing. Part 10. The mind-blowing lakes. Did you know South America is home to some of the most fascinating lakes on Earth? Take Lake Titicaca, for example, the highest navigable lake in the world, sitting high in the Andes between Peru and Bolivia. Could you imagine boats sailing so high up in the mountains? Then there's Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, famous for its massive size and constant lightning storms, which sound like nature's own light show. And not far from there, the Guri Reservoir, a giant man-made lake, powers much of Venezuela's electricity. Isn't that crazy? Then there's Cunucucha in the Andes and the Brocopondo Reservoir in Suriname, both crucial for the regions. Lastly, Lake Valencia in Venezuela adds its own charm to this watery collection. South America's lakes aren't just water. They're a mix of mystery, power, and natural beauty all rolled into one. Who knew lakes could be this interesting? Part 9. Galapagos Islands. Have you ever wondered where the tiny olive ridley turtles begin their incredible journey? Well, the Galapagos Islands of Ecuador are one of the most important natural nurseries for these amazing creatures. Imagine thousands of little turtles hatching on the sandy beaches and making their way to the ocean. It's like a real-life adventure movie. And the Galapagos isn't just famous for its giant tortoises and unique wildlife. It's also a fertility hotspot for olive ridley turtles. These turtles come here to lay their eggs, trusting this untouched paradise to give their babies the best start in life. I mean, can you believe that such a remote island plays such a crucial role in protecting an endangered species? Every year, this natural wonder becomes a bustling turtle nursery, full of life and hope. So next time you hear about the Galapagos, remember, it's not just a beautiful island, it's a turtle miracle in action. Part 8. Coffee Giants. Did you know that some of the world's best coffee beans come from 3 countries? Brazil, Colombia, and Ecuador are coffee giants, producing huge amounts of the rich, aromatic coffee that fuels millions of mornings worldwide. Can you believe it? Brazil leads the pack as the world's largest coffee producer. Its vast plantation stretches as far as the eye can see. But Colombia and Ecuador aren't far behind, known for their unique flavors and high-quality beans that coffee lovers crave. Each country's climate and mountains add a special twist to the taste, making their coffee truly one of a kind. So next time you sip that perfect cup of coffee, remember, it might just have traveled all the way from the lush hills of Brazil, Colombia, or Ecuador. Sounds pretty good, right? Who knew that behind every great coffee is a story rooted deep in South America's rich soil? Part 7. Size of Brazil and its borders. Brazil isn't just the biggest country in South America, it's a continental giant. Stretching over 8.5 million square kilometers, it's larger than the entire US minus Alaska. That's pretty mind-blowing. But here's where it gets crazier. Brazil borders every single South American country except Chile and Ecuador. Seriously, it's like the social butterfly of the continent, touching 10 neighbors, including Argentina, Peru, and even tiny Suriname. Its size also means Brazil hosts the world's largest rainforest, countless ecosystems, and time zones that span almost half the continent. If you started driving across Brazil, you could literally spend days crossing from one border to another and still be in the same country. From tropical beaches to highland plateaus and jungle cities, Brazil's a nation that could easily pass for a continent of its own. So you think you know South America? Brazil alone might just prove you wrong. Part 6. South America's watery borders. Picture a continent surrounded by not one, but three mighty bodies of water. South America is exactly that, a land hugged by oceans and seas on almost every side. To the northwest and north, the warm turquoise waves of the Caribbean Sea lap its shores. Turn a bit east and you'll meet the vast Atlantic Ocean stretching from the northeast all the way down to the southeast, shaping countless coastlines and feeding bustling ports. And then on the west side, the powerful Pacific Ocean crashes against rugged cliffs and sandy beaches, completing the watery embrace. This unique positioning gives South America incredible diversity. It's got beaches, rainforests, and ports all in one place. Isn't it crazy how one continent can be kissed by three different waters, each shaping its own story? This watery border is one of the secrets to South America's rich culture and nature. Part 5. The Amazon River, the lifeline of the jungle. A river so massive it flows through 9 different countries and dumps more water into the ocean than any other river on the planet. That's the Amazon River, and it's not just a river. It's the jungle's beating heart. This watery giant stretches over 6,400 kilometers, cutting across South America like nature's own superhighway. But here's where things get really wild. The Amazon isn't just about size. It's home to over 3,000 species of fish, including electric eels and, wait for it, pink dolphins. Yep, actual pink dolphins. The river also helps power the Amazon rainforest, the largest rainforest on Earth, producing 20% of the world's oxygen. No big deal, right? From mysterious creatures to life-giving waters, the Amazon is like a living, breathing legend. So next time you hear the word Amazon, think beyond online shopping. This river is a real-world wonder. Part 4. The Driest Mystery. Welcome to Chile's Atacama Desert, the driest non-polar desert on the planet. Some parts of this desert haven't seen a single drop of rain in centuries. Not years, centuries. Isn't that crazy? It's so unbelievably dry that NASA uses it to test their Mars rovers. That's right, before they send their tech to another planet, they give it a trial run right here, on Earth's very own alien landscape. But here's the twist. Despite being bone dry, the Atacama is famous for its fog. It's the largest fog desert on Earth, with coastal mists called Camanchaca drifting in from the Pacific Ocean, nourishing bizarre life forms like fog-drinking beetles and cactus. And yet, life still finds a way. Scientists have discovered hardy microorganisms buried beneath the salty soil, surviving against all odds. No lush trees, no babbling brooks, just endless rust-covered terrain and whispering winds. Part 3. Some trees in the Amazon walk. No, this isn't a scene from a fantasy movie. Some trees in the Amazon rainforest can actually walk. Meet the Socratia exarhiza, also known as the walking palm. Instead of staying rooted in one place like your average tree, this clever plant has found a way to chase sunlight. Can you believe it? Here's how it works. The tree grows a web of long, stilt-like roots. When the light shifts or the forest floor changes, say after a nearby tree falls, it starts growing new roots in the direction of the sunlight, while letting the older ones die off. Over time, it can move up to 20 meters a year. Yeah, it literally repositions itself to get the best seat under the sun. That's just wild. A tree that refuses to stay put. In a battle for survival in the dense Amazon jungle, even trees have to be on the move. Part 2. South America has a river in the sky. Now, here's something that sounds totally made up, but trust me, it's 100% real. Above the Amazon rainforest, there's an invisible river of water vapor drifting through the sky. Scientists call it the Flying River, and believe it or not, it carries more water than the Amazon River itself. It's crazy. Here's the deal. Amazon's trees release so much moisture through their leaves, a process called transpiration, that it forms massive flowing columns of vapor in the atmosphere. These airborne rivers can move billions of liters of water across the continent, even bringing rainfall to places as far away as Argentina and the Andes. If this vapor system gets disrupted, it could spell serious trouble for ecosystems and agriculture all over South America. So yeah, this river in the sky is kind of a big deal. Who knew the rainforest wasn't just working below us, but above our heads too? It's mind-blowing. And part 1. Penguins chill in South America too. Penguins in South America? Yep, not all penguins hang out on icy glaciers in Antarctica. Some prefer the breezy shores of Chile and Argentina, where they live in burrows, not ice caves. The Humboldt and Magellanic penguins are native to this region, and they've totally adapted to the milder coastal climates. These little tuxedo guys waddle along rocky beaches, dive through chilly ocean currents, and even raise families in underground nests. Imagine walking around a beach and spotting a penguin colony just doing their thing. It's adorable. It's kind of wild to think that while one part of South America has tropical rainforests, another has penguins flopping around in the sand. This continent really does have everything, from pink dolphins in the Amazon to penguins by the sea. Who knew penguins were such globetrotters? Alright, thanks for joining me today. So, which one of these facts amazed you the most? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like more updates, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell so you don't miss any videos and get notifications on time. See you in the next one.